Shalom. This is another message being brought to you through the Spirit and power Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai Bashem Makakadash. This is Brother Matthias coming to feed the flock of the Most High, breaking these scriptures down in spirit and in truth. And this is the second installment of Japheth, the true identity of the so-called white man. I would like to continue to further verify his true identity so that there's no more, confusion about who he is and us calling him Esau and everything. And then after that, after we're done with this, then we'll move into verifying Esau's true identity. All right. But first of all, we got to get this white man put in his proper perspective. All right. So we ended off in the book of Second Maccabees, basically saying how the Romans, who had absorbed the Greek Empire, are the Grecians, the Greeks, and these are the sons of Japheth, and they look like their father Noah. Noah, pursuant to the book of Enoch, chapter 106, Noah looked like a white man. He was albino. He didn't look like other men, and Japheth took after him. Okay, only difference. So-called white man, over time his hair kind of got stringy and all of that good stuff. All right, but he's a son of Japheth. He's not a Shemite like we believe. So to further prove this point, I would like to call your attention to let me get it. This will be we're gonna go to the book of Joel, chapter 3. We're going to begin at verse 1. And it reads, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem," meaning he's going to throw us in slavery again, "I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." Verse Joel 3:3. "And they have cast lots for my people." Who is this? Well, we're going to find out. "They have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink." Joel 3, chapter 3, verse 4. "Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine?" These are the Arabs. Okay. "Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head." See, these Arabs are pissed off because they're not the chosen people of the Lord. We are. All right. So look what they done. Joel chapter 3, verse 5. "Because you have taken my silver and my gold and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things." Verse 3, Joel 3 and 6. Now listen, these are the Arabs. Okay. "The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border." Who is it that enlarges their border? Japhites, right? And it says you have sold them to the Grecians. Who are the Grecians? The Greeks, the so-called white man. "The Arabs sold us to them." Got it? Verse 7. "Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head." So the Most High got a serious problem with these Arabs, man, because they're the ones that sold us to the so-called white man. Now, to go a little deeper into this, let's go to prove that we were sold to them. First of all, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 28. All right. Let me get the verse. All right. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28. Um, I'll start at verse 48. Now, you know the Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 through 68 is talking about the curses. So this is what was prophesied to happen to us, okay? Deuteronomy 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until they have destroyed thee. Did he not do that? In slavery, he put a yoke of iron on our neck, right? All right, cool. Verse 49. Now check this out. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Now, in times past, we said that was Esau. It's not true. This white man's language is a Germanic language, all right, that's what Japhites are, they're Germanic. That's where you get your Europeans from, okay? It's not Esau. Check it out, verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. Okay? Now, it says they were going to enlarge their border, right? This is how far their border is going to go. 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Egypt meaning bondage, not the country of Egypt, which is true name is Mitzrayim. Okay? It's talking about Egypt. He's going to put us in slavery again, which by way of via cargo slave ships. That's how you know he's talking about us. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. What's that? Our homeland. Because it was overrun by the Gentiles. It was overrun by the Greeks. And then after them, the Romans. Okay? All right. They ran us out of there. And then after that, then the Arabs came and they took it over. And that's what's over there now. These so-called Palestinians and all that, these are European Jews who took over our religion, and they're impersonating us over there right now. Okay? It said, thou shalt see it no more again, and there you shall be sold unto your enemies. It don't say Esau. It says, you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. So Japheth, which is a so-called white man, has increased his territory all the way over here. These are Japhites. They are not Esau. The Japhites. Now let's go back to 28, verse 48, and let's see what it says. Check it out. Therefore thou shalt serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, till he have destroyed thee. So we got that down. That happened. Then he says, verse 49. All right. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Now, why couldn't we understand? If they are our brothers, why couldn't we understand them? All right. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. So it says we won't understand their language. Okay. That's the key right there. So let's go to Genesis chapter 25. We're going to begin at verse 23. Now this is Jacob and Esau. Okay. Matter of fact, let's start at verse 21. Salak. Genesis 25, verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, listen, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. The first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Now, Red and hairy, if we look up the word red, red is like close to brown. It's a dark color. It's not white. All right. And I was on that doctrine, y'all, but I've looked it up and studied it, and I can tell you that I was wrong. Okay. When it says red, it's talking about like a reddish brown. You know what I mean? Which is what Esau's color really is. That's why these Edomites, you can find a lot of them in New York, you know, or at 7-Eleven. That's Esau right there. Okay. But I'm getting ready to prove it right here because it says it's a language we shall not understand. Esau speaks our language. He spoke Hebrew. All right. Let's go to verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 60 years old when she bare them. And the boys grew up together with him. And Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. Verse 28. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob sought pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau, now look at verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with the same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom, meaning red. Okay? So if he said that to Jacob, he understands his brother. That can't be them. In Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48, it says that this nation that's going to enslave us is going to come from afar, and it's going to be a language that we don't understand. He's clearly talking to him right here. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with the same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he sware unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. All right. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. So how could Jacob and Esau have a conversation like that when the scripture says that we're going to be enslaved to an enemy whose language we shall not understand? The English language is one of the most complicated languages to understand because there's so many letters, all right, so many variables in it. Okay, that's why when you go to court, you have to have a lawyer, a liar with you, to even go through the legalese, all right, that you have to go through just to try to live in this place, man. It's not talking about Esau. It's talking about the heathen. These are Japhites here. A so-called white man is a Japhite. Okay, and I pray that you can go through this first installment again and the second installment to see that this is scripture line upon line, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. You know, we got to dig for this. And it was my error in not digging for this before, because the way this white man had treated us here, man, who wouldn't believe he not the damn devil? Everything he done. He done cut us up, lynched us, hung us, boiled us, made jelly out of us, made axle grease out of us, chopped us up, put our private parts in his damn pocket. Who wouldn't believe he's not the damn devil? All right? But he's not, he's a devil, but he's not the devil. See, that's what the Bible calls Esau, the devil, the great deceiver. Okay? He's the one behind all of this. He's the one behind all of this, man. And, you know, there's just no way around it. So, let me get another precept, and then we'll go ahead and close this on out. I think we'll be able to wrap this up. Let's go to the book of Obadiah. No, Obadiah is just one verse. All right. All right, so look, this is Obadiah. You know it's only one chapter to Obadiah, so we're going to start at verse 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord concerning Edom. You know, these are the Edomites. Okay. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Now, you see that? A rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. So, Esau is small among the heathen. So, Esau's not a heathen. You got the heathen, and then you got Esau. Verse 3. The pride of thy heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Y'all know Arabs are very arrogant people, very high-minded, okay? Very, very haughty. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound unto thee. There is none understanding in him. So when you look at the Middle East, that's why there's always problems over there. All right? Except for the Saudis, the Saudi Arabians, those are the premier Arabs over there. And Arab just means mingled seed. We're kind of leaning a little on Esau right now. I want to show you what they did to prove to you that Esau is not the so-called white man. Verse 8, shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise man out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. You've all heard of the transatlantic slave trade, right? Well, there was a trans-Sahara slave trade before that. It was these Arabs, all right, which is Esau, that sold us to this white man. Check this out, Obadiah verse 1 and 11. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was one of them. See, the Arabs, Esau teamed up with this white man against us. That's why you had Herod, who was an Edomite, all right, in the house under the Romans ruling us. That's who a lot of these Pharisees were, man. All right, they were what do you call them? Judaizers. They took on the religion, but they didn't have a bloodline, and they oppressed us, man. Okay. Verse 12, but thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou should not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done. It shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. All right? So these Arabs, which is Esau, is going to get us back. I mean, it's going to get it back for selling us to this so-called white man over here. That's why I can tell you in all certainty that the white man is not Esau. He's a heathen. But Esau sold us to him. Let's go back to Joel chapter 3. We're going to cut from Obadiah, and go back to Joel chapter 3. All right. Starting at verse 4. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head, because you have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. Verse 6, here's the point. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. All right, confirming Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. They removed us far from our border. Why? Because the Japhethites enlarged their border all the way over here where we at right now. And we're under the Grecians right now to this day while I'm talking to you. That's why he says, verse 7, Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them, and will return your recompense upon your own head. All right, verse 8. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah. Future prophecy. And they shall sell them to the Sabians, to a people afar off, for the Lord has spoken it. We're going to get them back. All right. But for right now, it's not time yet. That's why we're waking up. We're getting ready to wake up and, get some get back. The Most High is stuck on payback. All right. So, for you out there that still want to believe that the so-called white man is Esau, you can go back through the precepts that I gave you. We're going to go into Esau coming up soon, but I've been promising you this video, and I like to make good on what I'm saying. All right. But yeah, the so-called white man are Grecians. All right, think about it. This is why. Over here you got like your Greek fraternities and sororities, right? Why do you think that is? Because that's who they are. You can go to any college campus, man, and I ain't talking about these the ones that we got. We just following suit. That's why it's so sad to even be part of that, because we were Hellenized into that. We were forced into that. Read the book of 1st and 2nd Maccabees, and you'll see how we were Hellenized into that Greek culture. And now we got people paying to do it, paying to be in these fraternities and sororities. They're paying to do it, paying dues to these people, man. It's wicked. But that's how brainwashed we are. We don't know our history. And then when you try to tell our people, they don't care. Oh, well, that was a long time. No, it's going on now. And that's a slap in the face of the Most High, man. We Israelites, we ain't supposed to be dealing with that bullshit. But it is what it is, That's why all y'all out there that want to be part of that, you're going to be part of the 2/3 club. And then, you get your nutsack Israelite carrying car where you can be shot out into the kingdom. All right? Bottom line. That's how it is. So that's why the things are the way they are over here, man. Because we are still under Japheth, all right? And Japheth is still wicked. So that opens up a whole new dialogue. So what's going to happen to the white man and the white woman in the kingdom? Well, they're going to be slaves to us the same way we is to them. Only we're going to possess them for eternity. They'll never get it from under us after this. All right? So this ends our second installment of Japheth. All right. And I entitled it Japheth and left it at that because YouTube is tracking me. All right. So I got to be careful how I title my videos. And I'm praying to the Most High, and y'all pray too, that this damn channel don't get taken down for this. This is why it's taking me so long to even put it up. But I believe through the Spirit and the power of the Most High, this by the way it's titled, and by me leaving this to the very end to say, then hopefully they'll leave us alone and bypass it, because they're real touchy on this. You see, because once we got this law of liberty, once we got this law of liberty, we know the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, and we know who the real enemy is and who they are and where they at and what they doing and how they tried to trick us, then shit starts happening. All right? So I pray that y'all was edified, man. I'd like to thank the brother for his post about, us, getting it wrong about Esau not being a white man and white and all that. Hey, it's all good, okay? None of us knew, especially me. So once again, I apologize to y'all for the misinformation. If y'all go back to some of my old videos, got to remember something. I was only teaching what I knew at the time, but as new information comes my way, we got to make corrections, and we can't be too proud to say that we messed up or we misdone something. All right, I'm not perfect, y'all. I'm just trying. Prophets ain't perfect. I should make that a t-shirt, huh? Prophets ain't perfect, but hey, we make mistakes and we fix them up through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, so y'all know what y'all got to do, right? Rod of Iron, quickly prepare for the next video coming soon. I'm Brother Matthias, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai Bashem Akakadash. All praises due. I approve this message. All right, and I'll see y'all in a minute. Matthias out. Shalom.